And now, Mike's thoughts.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Deebo Samuel says there's no hard feelings on his departure from San Francisco. Deebo Samuel says it's bittersweet that I'm out of here. Yeah, I'm happy what is gone. I'm not mad, but I'm happy and looking forward to what is about to be. But guys, let's just be honest. Deebo Samuel can say all the right things. Deebo Samuel can say, hey, I love my time in San Francisco and I'm happy that I'm out here. There's no hard feelings. But let's be 100% honest at the end of the day. At the end of the day, we know damn well if the Commanders and the 49ers happen to play in want some meaningful game, playoffs, NFC Championship game, whatever, Deebo Samuel's going to do everything in his power to put the 49ers out of their misery, to put their asses in the dirt over and over and over again. So you can say there's no ill will. You can say you're happy and there's this and this and this. But the simple fact of the matter, Deebo Samuel in the back of his head saying, F those 49ers. F Lynch. F Brock Purdy. F everybody in that organization. F the whole state of California. Let's just be flat out honest. Because at the end of the day, we all can be happy that we were on said team. But that team didn't want me at the end of the day. You did not want me at the end of the day. At the end of the day, I don't care who you are. President of the United States, Vice President Deebo Samuels, Michael Buckheischer, my man James Frank. I don't care who you are. If somebody doesn't want you and you move on to the other pasture, you are going to be looking over there and say, F you. You are going to be looking over there and say, hey, yeah, I'm happy, but I want to put you in the dirt every chance I can freaking get. Cue that intro. Are you ready for the best damn NFL show on the planet? Man Hour Nation, rise up.
Yeah, hey, let's go. Hitting that gridiron, we going hard, we running the plays. You know the vibe, only the strong survive. Gotta keep your head in the game. Talking NFL, uncut, straight raw. Steady bringing that sauce. We about to take off. Get it hype, this man, our sport talk. Yeah. From the quarterback to the lineman, everybody bringing heat. You don't really want to try them. Hey, who gon' win? It's a battle of the giants. This show is the flyest. Nobody can deny it. This is Man Hour.
What?
Sport Talk.
What?
Man Hour. Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception? This is Man Hour. Sport Talk. Man Hour. Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception?
Let's go. What is up, Man Hour Nation? Michael Buckheischer here with the Man Hour Show, the manhourradio.com. Check out the merchandise page or check the blog section as well. And most importantly, check out that Explore tab. There's a lot of cool little features over there. But if you guys are listening to this live stream, we are live every Monday through Friday at 9 p.m. East Coast time right here at youtube.com, of course, facebook.com. And you listen to the old on TikTok, come over to youtube.com/manhour and get live, raw, and uncut as is a live interactive show. But guys, most importantly right now, hit that like button. Hit the like button and share this with a couple friends. Because because everybody loves everybody. Guys, it is Thursday here. This week is flying by. The month of March is already flying by. My little man turns 5 next week. Good Lord. But guys, we're going to talk about Joey Bosa. We're going to talk about Joey Bosa today getting released by the Los Angeles Chargers. We're talking about that. What's his future for them? What's the future outlook for them? We're also going to talk about another defensive end. Mr. Maxx Crosby himself signed a 3-year, $106.5 million guarantee or $1 million deal, $31.5 million per season. How big a move is this for the Raiders? How big is this for the Las Vegas Raiders moving forward? And then another person that wants out. We've heard Myles Garrett wants out. This person wants out. Now guess what? DK Metcalf wants out as well. Looking for a $30 million per year contract. Where does he end up? And again, guys, it's Thursday, so we got a little bit about, did you see that? We're going to talk about that. Durham Smythe. They got a lot of stuff going on. And then we just got a little factor crap. We got quarterback edition, a little bit of factor crap. We're going to talk about Kirk Cousins, Aaron Rodgers, and the man, the myth, the legend himself, Jameis freaking Winston. So we guys got all that and much more coming up here, guys. But before we get too carried away, we got to welcome some people into the chat. We got to get the people into the chat. And we got to welcome the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. James Frank is in the chat. What's up, Frank? Mr. James Frank, I should say, not Frank, Mr. James Frank. He says, yo, what's up, James? Hope you had a good old day, man. You're Cleveland Browns, man. We're going to be talking about them. We're going to be talking about them on Did You See That? So stay tuned for that. I don't like that. There we go. Let's get a little bit of that going on. And then of course, James Frank says, of course, there's no hard feelings. He's going to be catching balls from Jaden Daniels. Not wrong. My man Jim Powell, he's a pigskin pundit.
Skin pun, get you some.
Jim says, who cares? It's San Francisco. Bay Area minis. Bay Area enemies. I'm not for sure what you're trying to say there, Dan, but whatever. Got my man Batman in the Batman got me. Woo! He says hello. What's up, Batman? What's up? Got old man River. He's also a pigskin pundit.
Pigskin pun, get you some.
Old man River says good evening, y'all. What's up, old man River? Got my God's Otter in the chat. Says hello. What's up, God's Otter? What's up, man? And then James Frank says, Jim, you as happy as hell. Crosby ain't living your squad. Listen, I think every Raiders fan is very, very happy right now that they are not leaving his squad. Very, very happy right now, but hey, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. And then old man River says, what about Joey Bosa to the Raiders? How about not? I mean, it would be dangerous. It would be nice, but like, how about not? And then Jim says, you are right, but we need to be bookend. I don't know what bookend means. Like keeping everything in place, being a bookend. James Frank says, keep Jameis in the land. Bring Flacco back and draft Shadur. Oh, you just want everybody, James, huh? You just want everybody. You think like, hey, since we restructured my man Deshaun Watson, you think since Deshaun Watson freed up $12 million of cap space that you can go get Jameis Winston, you can go get Joe Flacco, you can draft Shadur Sanders. James, stay tuned. Stay tuned because there's a lot of hell going on in Cleveland. Shark Lover says, hey, what's up, Shark Lover? What's up? And Jim says, gagging, tell Javi to back up 2 inches. Joke's on you, Jim. That's all Huffy got. That's all Huffy's got. He's just got 2 inches. So he doesn't have 2 inches to like spare. So he definitely needs to get in there and get it in there. And Old Man River says, definitely referring to a bookcase with your defensive ends. You get it, Jim. I got what you're picking up, but most people don't know what bookends are. Bookends are the little steel piece you slide underneath your books so your books don't fall over. Well, joke's on you. Maxx Crosby and the whole defense is going to fall over in 2025 just because that is just what it is. That is just what it is. And James says, you know what? I am a Browns fan, and I'm okay to be be a Browns fan, but you know what? I am just delusional. I am delusional. I'm a delusional Browns fan. What can I do about it? I don't know what you can do about it, man. I do not know what you can do about it. But let's talk about Joey Bosa. Let's talk about the man that just got released by the LA Chargers. Guys, Joey Bosa was a 5-time Pro Bowler defensive end for the LA Chargers in his 9-year career. By the LA Chargers releasing Joey Bosa saves them $25 million in cap space. But the question we want to ask ourselves is, where does Joey Bosa end up? Where does he end up? Does he stay in the AFC West? Does he travel to the NFC side? Does he do a little bit of this? Where does he end up at the end of the day? As the LA Chargers head into free agency as one of the NFL's richest teams, they have $90.6 million in cap space after the release of Joey Bosa. So they're not in cap hell by any stretch of the imagination. Joey Bosa was just injured and hurt and just overpaid, right? And actually, this free agent period has already begun for the Chargers. They have signed safety Elijah Molden to a 3-year, $18.75 million deal, locking him one of the starter safeties before the new league year begins on March 12th. Now, Joey Bosa is now a free agent for the first time in his career after being released by the LA Chargers, which is a cost-cutting move of $25.3 million in salary cap space. As we said, Joey Bosa was a 3rd overall pick in the 2016 NFL draft and had spent his entire career in for the Chargers, not in LA because they're at San Diego for a little time, whatever, yada, yada, yada. He has earned 5 Pro Bowl bids and being named 2016 Defensive Rookie of the Year. Now, Joey Bosa has dealt with injuries in recent years, missing 23 games since 2022, but played 14 games in 2024, recording 5 sacks. So now, obviously, injuries suck. Being 9 years in the league sucks. Being released for the first time in your career sucks. Being a free agent for the first time in your career sucks. But I think there's going to be a market out there for Joey Bosa. Where do you guys think that Joey Bosa could possibly end up? And the first thing when I searched Joey Bosa's potential landing spots, the first thing that came up was San Francisco 49ers. And I'm thinking, he's got a brother there. The 49ers seem to be the most obvious option, and it would pair him up with his older brother, Nick Bosa, right? They never played together. Their mama, her name's not Mama Bosa. I don't know her last name. But Joey Bosa has expressed interest in playing with his brother Nick, and their mom supports the idea. Of course, mom is going to support the idea, right? The 49ers have defensive depth, allowing Joey Bosa to be a rotational player, which may reduce injury risk. So it's all positive for Joey Bosa to join the San Francisco 49ers. It is all positive. You get to play with your older brother. You get to rotate in and out, maybe just be a third down specialist or a second and long specialist, right? Reducing injuries, and you get to just do 100% and pin those ears back, right? Both brothers come out like, "Ooh, baby, look out!" But there are other teams that make a little bit more sense. The Chicago Bears. We spoke on them last night. We know that they need an edge rusher. They need a defensive end. Hell, they need everybody underneath the sun besides 2 offensive linemen now. The Bears are building a playoff contending team as of right now. They've already made some key moves. Pairing Joey Bosa up with Montez Sweat would give the Chicago a strong pass rushing duo. Not only would Joey Bosa probably not even be the number 1 guy on that team, he would get a lot of single coverages, and I can see him getting 10, 11, 12 sacks in that Chicago Bears defense. Now, injuries might play a risk still in Chicago. Get a little colder, maybe not quite doing so well on the win record side. Your sprained ankle hurts just a little bit more, right? So obviously the Chicago Bears make sense. And then every team in the NFC South makes sense. The Saints have a new defensive coordinator, Brandon Stanley. He's familiar with Brandon Stanley. Let's just be honest. And they need some experienced pass rushers. The Panthers need everybody. The Falcons need pass rushing help, but may struggle with the salary cap, so money might be a little bit of issue. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, despite having a solid pass rush, adding Bosa could improve their defense, especially given their recent struggles last season. But the team that makes the most sense in my mind, besides every NFC team out there, it seems like all the NFC South teams, the Chicago Bears, the San Francisco 49ers, the team that makes the most sense is the Detroit Lions. Let's just be honest. The team that makes the most sense is the Detroit Lions. The Lions need a pass rusher after Aiden Hutchinson injury. We don't know how Aiden Hutchinson is going to come back in 2025. We expect him to be 100%. We expect him to be what he once was. We expect him to be the man, the myth, the legend that he could be. But what if he's not? Joey Bosa is a nice plan B. Team him up with Jadarius Smith and McNeil and the rest of that defense. It could be a recipe for disaster. It could be much like the San Francisco 49ers, a nice little rotation happening, right? And then with Marcus Davenport set to hit free agency, Bosa could be a cost-effective option for Detroit. Now, since Joey Bosa was released, not cut, not waived, not ever, he can sign immediately. So starting today, March 6th, ahead of the free agency on March 12th, he can sign right now for any team that he wants. No waivers, none of this process. He can sign right now. So guys, where do you think Joey Bosa should end up? Where do you think Joey Bosa is going to play in the 2025 NFL season? If I am a betting man, which I am not, I partake in some parlays every now and then. But Joey Bosa to the Detroit Lions makes the most sense. They have a lot of cap space. They have room to add depth, and they like to have injury-plagued players. So bring them on, right? So the Detroit Lions. So, guys, the question that I got to ask you guys is, where do you think Joey Bosa ends up after being cut by the Los Angeles Chargers just the other day? Old Man River says the Raiders have cap space. It would be nice to him to have. It would also be nice to him to come to the Motor City. The Raiders have cap space, John, for a reason, right? The Raiders have cap space for a reason, because they're not very good. They're not very good. Now, we're going to be talking about the Raiders here momentarily. They have some key pieces on the defensive side, but I'm not for sure Joey Bosa really moves that needle one way or the other. Yeah, he'd be a nice little depth piece, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but I'm not for sure Joey Bosa makes it in Las Vegas. I think ideally he goes to an NFC team like the Detroit Lions. Jim Powell says Bosa is an issue. Always tore up and always uncontrollable temper, which is spot on. However, I had a debate with somebody earlier in the chat on our facebook.com/man-hour groups here, right? When I posted that Joey Bosa was released, they said, hey, he is always injured. He's this, whatever, yada, yada, yada. It's time for him to move on. You know another player that was always injured, always tore up, and could never stay on the field for more than 3 games at a time? CMC. He was traded mid-year, was injured at the time, went to San Francisco, somehow passed the physical. Guess he wasn't too injured, right? Played the rest of that season. Helped them go to the Super Bowl. The following year was the man, the myth, the legend, made the cover of the Madden game. Was it Madden 23, right? Now, obviously, he was injured all this year with those double Achilles tendonitis or whatever it was, right? But sometimes a little new water strengthens those bones a little bit. Sometimes some fresh scenery, some fresh air. Granted, Detroit doesn't have very fresh air, but you get what I'm saying. Sometimes just seeing that new environment gets you a little bit of energized again. Gets a little smoke underneath your boots, per se, right? Maybe that's what he needs. Maybe. And James says, Bosa's always hurt, though. He is hurt. He is hurt a lot. Let's fix the screen here. He is hurt. He's hurt, and it definitely sucks. But when you're in LA, not very good. Yeah, they made the playoffs last season, but you know what? They still didn't really have a chance. You go to a team that's a contender, the Detroit Lions, potentially the Chicago Bears, let's say the Buccaneers. Injuries heal a little bit faster. Injury heals a little bit faster. And James says, whoa. Bosa would be dangerous, would be crazy. James, you are exactly right. Now, I don't have an older brother or a younger brother. I wish I had a younger brother or an older brother, or just like I have a sister, but like I would dream of playing with the sibling when I get to like a college level or the higher level, right? Now, I have 2 boys. They have played on the same team several times because my youngest is going to probably be a stud little athlete. He is playing up, right? He's playing up with his older brother. Right now, they kind of butt heads a little bit. We have now separated them. But once they get to high school and to college and maybe even beyond, as a parent, it is going to melt my heart seeing them on the field at the same time, interacting, getting excited, just having a good time. And how about this? How about winning, right? And we forget, yes, the San Francisco 49ers had a down year last year. Yes, they were plagued by injuries most of the season. But their defense is still pretty damn good. They still got Leonard Floyd, Hargrave, Nick Bosa, Dre Greenlaw, Fred Warner, Shadarius Ward, which is probably going to be a free agent and walk away, right? They still have a lot of talent on the San Francisco 49ers defense. And a player like Joey Bosa, it's just the rich get richer, like at that point. And you guys are familiar with my man Jameson here, right? He is a 49ers fan. Although he's saying he's boycotting the NFL and he's never watching the NFL again, yada, yada, yada. I'm like, whatever, right? If his 49ers get Joey Bosa, I bet you the day they're signed, he is on this live in here talking shit. Joey Bosa would definitely move the needle in 49ers land in San Francisco, but I still think Detroit Lions is the way to go. Jim says, bring that ass here, boy. Meaning San Francisco. Sorry, Las Vegas. My bad. Bring that ass here to Las Vegas, says Jim. Crosby can be more of a grade Lloyd type of player. When you look at that Las Vegas Raiders roster, Jim, we did not get to see the full effect of the roster last season. You are, let's just be flat out honest about that. When they signed Christian Wilkins from the Miami Dolphins last season, he got, I don't think he played one game. He got injured like pre-season, right? I was excited to see him on the field. We did not get to see that. Let's just be honest. As a Kansas City Chiefs fan, if I see Maxx Crosby, Christian Wilkins, Joey Bosa, Spillane, Diablo, Jack Jones, Marcus Epps, all on that defensive side of the ball, all of a sudden I'm thinking, oh man, maybe this isn't quite as easy as a cakewalk as it usually is. Granted, the Raiders always play up to their competition and down to their competition, but maybe Joey Bosa makes them play up more. Maybe not play as down, right? The more I think about it, the Raiders make sense, right? The Raiders do make sense, right? I mean, I guess I'm just being a homer and I don't want to see it. Old Man River says he's playing in the West where it's warm. Cold weather, he'd be more injury prone. Well, Old Man River, the Detroit Lions play in a dome. The Minnesota Vikings play in a dome. He would probably really want to play 2 outdoor cold games next season, meaning the Packers and the Bears game, and more than likely they'll play them early in the season at said fields. Just saying. Jim says, or you can send Joey Bosa to Dallas to try to stop the run behind your boy. My boy beating Micah Parsons. Well, let's just be honest, Jim. Micah Parsons doesn't like to stop the run. Micah Parsons is scared to stop the run. I've said to you guys this many, many times. How do you defeat Micah Parsons? How do you do well against Micah Parsons and the Dallas Cowboys defense? You run at Micah Parsons. He's going to ole you. He's going to be like, oh, I'm too scared, baby. I'm scared. Stop it, Buck. Stop running at me. Now, Joey Bosa could potentially chase down the backside of the play. But at that point, it's probably too late. Probably too late. And we'll be talking about the Dallas Cowboys coming up here. Jerry Jones doesn't want to do any of that. My man Drew's in the chat says, howdy, Buck. What's up, Drew? Long time no see, buddy. Long time no see. We were off for a couple weeks. We're back. We're kind of get the mojo back. This is what the 5th day back. Trying to get the rust off. So what's up, Drew? Glad you're here, man. Be sure to hit that like button if you guys haven't hit the like button already. And also share this with a couple friends because sharing is caring at the end of the day. So please share this live stream. And James says, spot on with Detroit. He says, spot on with Detroit. James, I don't like it when we agree on things. James, when we agree on things, we are both wrong, my man. So hopefully the Detroit Lions, hopefully the Detroit Lions do not get richer by adding Joey Bosa, but it does make sense. And Drew says, whoa, slow it down, baby. Are we not seeing the obvious picture out there? Are we not seeing the team with the most cap space? Are we not seeing the team out there with the most needs? Are we not seeing the team with the new head coach and the defense that's in the New England Patriots? Drew, as Joey Bosa would be a perfect fit in New England with Mike Vrabel's defense, because it is going to be a Mike Vrabel's defense more than likely. The Patriots defense wasn't that bad last season. I don't think they need to add Joey Bosa. The Patriots are worried about the offensive side of the ball. The Patriots are worried about, hey, we just need offensive help. We need a quarterback. We need a running back. We need a receiver. We need offensive line. Then we need some more offensive line. Then we need another running back and probably another receiver and maybe a backup quarterback because their offensive line still sucks. I think the Patriots are worried about offense right now, just to keep up with the Bills and Dolphins. Let's just be honest. Jim says, or Bosa can recycle business with Hunter Renfrow. I don't know what you mean by that. Does Hunter Renfrow have some type of recycling business? If he does, that's kind of cool, I guess. I don't know. James says they better put Saquon on that Madden cover. James, I cannot believe you're wishing that ill will on Saquon Barkley. I cannot that you believe that you are legitimately saying, hey, Saquon Barkley's too damn good. Put him on the cover. Give him that cat Madden curse. James, they probably will put Saquon Barkley on the cover or the MVP and Josh Allen on the cover next season. And hopefully, fingers crossed, both of those players, if it's either or of those players, they break the curse. But how dare you wish that ill will on Saquon Barkley, hoping he gets on the Madden cover? How dare you wish that evil on the Philadelphia Eagles? How dare you, Ricky Bobby? How dare you? How dare you? How dare you? RPP Production says, yo, man, I post NBA and NFL edits. You should check them out. Man, I'll check them out. I'll check them out for you. I'll check them out. RPD Production says, I pray that the Patriots snag DK Metcalf. RPG Production, stay around. Topic number 2 is DK Metcalf. We were talking about him, and I'm going to tell you why it's not a good idea for him to go to the Patriots. I'm just saying. Just saying. Drew says DK needs to go to the Steelers. Stay around, guys. We'll be talking about DK. We'll be talking about DK. Slow it down, baby. James Frank says, dude's probably just watching this show and not interested in the chat. What dude? What are you talking about? I'm trying to keep up the chat. Drew says Bosa needs to go to either the Patriots or the Steelers. It would be awesome to have Bosa with Watt on the same team. Well, first of all, TJ Watt is arguably the best defensive end in the entire league. Hands down, no doubt about it. Arguably, the Pittsburgh Steelers had the best top 10 defense all season long. For whatever reason, the second part of that season last year, they totally fell apart. I don't know where Joey Bosa would fit on that roster because you still got Cam Hayward. Is he retiring? Is he coming back? I don't know. He's pretty old. Of course, you got TJ Watt, but then you got that Larry Ojibanowi, Obajimawababi. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But he would definitely be a backup. He would definitely be a backup. I'm not for sure if Joey Bosa, honestly, guys, he is going into his 10th year of his NFL career. I honestly do not think that he wants to be a backup. I mean, granted, if you go to the Steelers, you are going to get 9 to 10 wins, respectively, but you're not going to be any type of Super Bowl conversations. I was off my rocker last year thinking that the Pittsburgh Steelers could prove everybody wrong and go to the Super Bowl. I was wrong about that. Eating crow still to this day. I'm looking back, I'm like, damn, I really said that about the Steelers? Come on, Buck, you're better than that. Same with the Patriots. Why would you choose to go to a team that's not going to be competing this season when you are in the 10th year of your league? When you're in the 10th year of your career, I should say, you want to chase a ring. Let's just be honest. Now, the Raiders, they have a lot of pieces put together. But at the end of the day, it's still the Raiders. Just like the Bears. The Bears are still putting a lot of pieces together, but at the end of the day, it's still the Bears. If I'm Joey Bosa, logically thinking, I am wanting to go to a contending team. I am willing to go to a contending team and be a role player, a backup, a rotational player, whatever. Like the 49ers. Yes, they're still a Super Bowl caliber team. Like the Detroit Lions, maybe even the Philadelphia Eagles. We've heard rumors of like Myles Garrett going to the Philadelphia Eagles, the Kansas City Chiefs. Hell, he may not even leave California. He may not even leave LA. He might rework a deal and become an LA Charger still. I mean, why not? But yeah, Bosa and Watt on the same team would be nice, hypothetically thinking. But I don't think Joey Bosa fits that hardcore nose Steelers defense. Let's just be honest. James said, they said they better not put him on the cover. Okay, my bad, James. My bad. I misread it. I just saw Saquon Madden cover. my mind went crazy there for a little bit. James said the dude that is boycotting the NFL, he lying. So yes. So my man Jameson said he's never watching the NFL again because the refs are blatantly cheating. The NFL is blatantly cheating and catapulting the Kansas City Chiefs to this superstar status, whatever, yada, yada, yada. Now, I see him comment on her stuff from time to time still, and I kindly remind him, saying, hey, I thought you were boycotting. I thought you weren't watching the NFL anymore. And he says, just because I'm not watching doesn't mean I can't comment on stuff. Okay. Got it, dude. But hey, like I said, guys, just like when people were saying that this is going to be the least watched Super Bowl ever, meaning this last Super Bowl, Eagles versus Chiefs. Nobody wanted to watch it, whatever. It was the highest rated Super Bowl ever. It was $130 million at the peak. Stop it. The NFL is a powerful sport. The NFL is must-see TV year after year after year. Stop it. Stop it. My man Alpha Rob says Steelers need offense, not defense. Alpha Rob, as I would agree with you on hindsight, second half of the season, the Steelers defense sucked too. Let's just be honest. My man Charles in the chat says Myles Garrett to the Eagles. We talked about that yesterday, Charles. I believe I posted a clip that's going to go live at midnight tonight. So basically, right after this show is live, Charles, there will be a clip about Saquon Barkley going to the Eagles. Or sorry, not Saquon Barkley, Myles Garrett to the Eagles. It's not going to happen. It was on our cold hard facts last night. It's not going to happen, baby. James says, I was right that the Steelers would choke, but I was wrong saying my Browns would have 12 wins. James, I respect you, brother. I respect you, and I could not imagine how hard it is being a Browns fan. Getting all the excitement of going to the playoffs with Baker Mayfield, getting your was it first home playoff win, the first playoff win in general, 25 years with Baker and OBJ and Amari Cooper. You guys had everything cooking, and then all of a sudden you kick Baker to the curb, insert Deshaun Watson, suspended for 18 games, and then he's hurt. It's such an emotional roller coaster. I couldn't imagine being a Browns fan. All the power to you. Charles says, where do you think Khalil Mack will go? I don't think Khalil Mack is going anywhere. I think he is perfectly happy where he's at. If he goes anywhere, he is going to go home and he's going to retire. Because he has been a Raider, he's been a Bear, and he's been a Charger. I believe I've seen rumors of him saying hey, this is where he wants to retire. Granted, he had Joey Bosa as his right-hand man. Granted, they had a nice little 1-2 punch. Now we'll see what happens in 2025. Of course, the new league year starts in just 6 days, March 12th. So we'll see. If he's going to retire, we're going to see it in the next 4 or 5 days. But right now, I don't think he's going anywhere. He's staying in LA, and the Chargers have like what they have on defense, and they're going to do what they do. Alpha Rob says their defense sucked in the second half because they were on the field more because their offense got worse in the second half of the season. Now, Alpha Rob, you are right to an extent, as they seemed like they were on the field longer. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but it seemed like, yes, they were on the field longer because the Steelers' offense just kind of stalled out a lot of the time. However, you knew you could just see something wasn't quite right with the Pittsburgh Steelers defense in the second half of that year. The first half of the season, they were flying around the ball. They were playing great team defense. They had 4 to 5 hats on the ball every single play. Toward the latter part of the season, you started to see less hats on the ball. You started to see kind of hero ball at the end of the day. You started seeing TJ Watt making tackles all over the field, not maintaining his gaps and backside coverages and gap fills and all that. And you saw people start running around him. So obviously there was some type of breakdown in the Pittsburgh Steelers defense in the second half of the season. Somebody slept with somebody's wife, baby mama. They were cheating on each other. Something happened in the second part of the season to cause a rift in that defense. Yes, they were tired. Yes, they were on the field longer. Just going off of what you said. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but something was definitely off in the second half of the season. Maybe, just maybe, that's all fixed. Maybe, just maybe, they kicked the cancer out. Maybe, just maybe, the baby mama drama is now in Canada or Florida or California. Maybe. James says, LOL, try being a Browns fan and having go through the miserable season sober. James, as a Chiefs fan, I went through the miserable seasons as well, sober. So yes, I get it, right? Alpha Rob says, the bottom line is Tomlin got his 10 wins and stopped coaching. Not wrong. Not wrong. That's his whole goal. Winning seasons, right? That's all he wants to do. Is win just a little bit. Win just a little bit and I'm good, baby. Jim says, I was just in Cleveland and got a facelift on the waterfront looks okay. I was just in Cleveland and the facelift on the waterfronts okay. So Jim was in Cleveland. So as you guys know, Cleveland sits right off of Lake Erie, right? Holmes, right? So yeah, it should be Erie, right? Erie or Superior. Either way, sits right off that. I believe it's Lake Erie. He said they uplifted. They did a facelift for the waterfront area there, so it actually looks okay. And that is tough from Cleveland because Cleveland's kind of a dump. Cleveland's kind of a wasteland. I'm not trying to dog the state of Ohio or Cleveland in general, but everything that I've seen, every video, every picture, everything I've seen is always gloomy. It's always musty. And I don't think the sun ever shines in Cleveland. Old Man River says, kind of off topic, but what does everybody think of the new laser beam first down markers? So Old Man River, I think this is a good thing, right? I think it is good to bring technology into the game of football. Now, I've heard of people saying put computer chips in the ball, yada yada yada. I'm kind of like, I don't like that. But I do like the laser beam first down. But at the same time, I do like the human element of the game of sports. There's a reason why I do not like the automated strike zone in baseball or the replays or whatever, because I like the human element of the sports. It gives us something to talk about. Well, what if this wasn't called? What if that was called, right? Now, we know the only reason why they're doing this is because the Buffalo Bills lost to the Kansas City Chiefs because they did not get a first down. Some people say it was a first down. Other people says it wasn't. But the logical people saying, hey, they didn't see the ball cross the line, bada bing, bada boom. It is whatever, right? But at the end of the day, it is a good move in the right direction. The reason for technology, the instant replays, the replays of turnovers and touchdowns and all that stuff, and now the laser beam first down is to eliminate these human errors, which is all good for it, right? However, what happens when that somebody hacks into the computer system and moves that laser beam up 6 inches? What happens when somebody hacks into that computer system and moves back the laser beam 6 inches? You understand, by them going to all these computers and lasers and replays and all this other stuff, yes, it might, quote, eliminate the human error, but it makes it a hell of a lot easier to rig the games now, baby. You think the NFL was rigged back then? Think about it now. All of a sudden, that's 10 yards becomes 10 yards and 3 inches. Now all of a sudden, when everybody's saying, oh, the Buffalo Bills got that first down, they moved that laser beam over the boop, 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 boop. Nope, sorry. Now we don't get to physically see the measure anymore. We don't get to physically see that it's short. We have to take the people's words for it. So I'm for it, but against it all at the same time. I can battle for it either way. I don't care. At the end of the day, I like football. I love football. At the end of the day, I like watching games. At the end of the day, I like talking about it. So I'm for it, but against it all at the same time. Alpha Rob says it was needed in the AFC Championship game, and he says, yes, I'm still bitter about the 4th and 1. You can be bitter all you want. The point of the matter is he was short, baby. He was short. And Old Man River says it's one less responsibility for the refs. Is it, though? Is it, though? The way I see it is more micromanaging at its finest. The way I see it, it is easier for the game to get rigged now. Because think about this, on those expedited replay crap, there were a lot of the times that we had no idea what was happening. It was just an expedited, and then all of a sudden, the ball got moved back 5 yards or got moved up 3 yards. Like, what just happened, right? What just happened? I do not like the expedited replay. I just want to put that out there. Because you can rig it a hell of a lot easier. This laser pointer beam, you can rig it a lot easier. I'm just saying. James says, sharks with the freaking laser beams on their head in the Dr. Evil's voice. I love it. Thank you, Scotty. I love it. I love it. I love it. And Old Man River says, Homer Waffleson. Listen, I am never going to not like my Kansas City Chiefs, right? Like, if you give me an opportunity to talk about the Kansas City Chiefs and praise them and tell you how good they are, I'm going to tell you. Just like how you tell me how good the Las Vegas Raiders are, and the Detroit Lions, and your Seattle Seahawks, and your Chicago Bears, and your Houston Texans, and your Washington Commanders, and your Philadelphia Eagles, and the Miami Dolphins, right? It is what it is. Drew says, hey, what do you think about Bosa and Mack to the Bengals? Paired up with Henderson. That would be cool. So Khalil Mack isn't going anywhere. The Bengals need defensive help, 100%. Bosa would be good there, right? But Trey Hendrickson, has been granted to request a trade. He has been granted to go out there and explore his trade opportunities. So Trey's probably not going to be there. The Bengals are like, hey, we're cleaning house. So Joey Bosa can come into town, sure. Khalil Mack is not going to get traded there. I believe he's underneath contract for another year still. Trey Henderson wants out. He actually just wants a payday. He is seeing Max getting paid. He's seeing who else just got paid. TJ Watt's getting paid. Nick Bosa got paid, right? He's seeing those big paydays. That's what he is want. And James says, yeah, too bad Hendrickson is being allowed to seek a trade. Exactly. I mean, it's just, at the end of the day, it kind of sucks. But Bengals are just in a world of hurt. Speaking of big paydays, Maxx Crosby agreed to a 3-year, $106.5 million deal with an average salary of $31.5 million per season. We've been kind of hinting about this on our Facebook page and our TikToks and a little bit of this and a little bit of that. But guys, how big a move is this for the Las Vegas Raiders? Is this a game-changing move for the Las Vegas Raiders, signing Maxx Crosby to this massive deal? He is now the highest non-quarterback paid player in the NFL. So guys, Maxx Crosby did sign the 3-year, $106.5 million extension with the Las Vegas Raiders, making him the highest paid non-quarterback player in the league. This extension includes $91.5 million guaranteed. Getting those guaranteed dollar bills, yo. Now, Maxx Crosby has expressed his gratitude for being part of the Raiders Nation and highlighted the dedication and hard work he has been putting in over the years. If you guys remember, Maxx Crosby came from nobody, right? He was like a fourth round pick as a MAC player. Nobody knew who Maxx Crosby was. He's been working his ass off. You got to give credit where credit is due. But this is his third contract negotiation in just 4 years' time. The Raiders are showing commitment and compensation for him for his elite performance. They love what Maxx Crosby is doing. Just back in 2022, just a couple years ago, right, he signed a 4-year, $94 million extension. And then he received his another raise in 2024. Guys, the Raiders made Maxx Crosby's contract more secure by removing any remaining guaranteed money and offering him financial stability, which is awesome. right? Despite trade rumors last season, the Raiders have made it clear that Crosby is a central part of their future, and their trade was never a serious option. Crosby, who just had 7.5 sacks in 2014 despite his injury setbacks, remained a key player for the Raiders in 2024 season. Now, when you look at the Las Vegas Raiders, they were a decent defense last year. I understand 2 years ago on Christmas Day, they beat the defending Super Bowl champions, the Kansas City Chiefs, at their house. They were a top 10 defense for the last 3 weeks of the NFL season. But in 2024, guys, they finished the NFL season ranked 15th in their defense, an overall defense. They were 15th in passing, 13th in rushing. Not horrible, but not great either, right? Now, Christian Wilkins should be back in 2020-25. Diablo is a dog, Spillane is a dog, and Jack Jones and Epps are pretty decent as well. So, guys, when you look at this trading or this contract, this massive deal, $31.5 million a season for Maxx Crosby, it sounds great. It looks great. Wrapping up all the money. Guys, at the end of the day, when you spend all your money on one player that's not even the best defensive end in the league, he's top 5, top 3, right? He's pretty damn good, but he's not the best defensive end in the league. The Raiders have a lot of holes to fill. This was a dumb move. This was a dumb move by the Las Vegas Raiders. He was not demanding more money publicly. He was not demanding a trade publicly. He was doing everything right. And we knew at some point that he was going to get a deal, but why do it now? You have so many holes in your offense, in your defense, your team in general. Why center stone on one player, $106 million over the next 3 seasons on one player when you need help? When you need receiver help, when you need a quarterback, when you need secondary help, when you need offensive line help. Why? This is the most Raider thing ever. Now, I'm not saying Maxx Crosby is a terrible player. I am not saying that he does not deserve this type of money. I'm not saying that at some point he was going to get this type of money, but why do it now? Why do it now? You have so many holes to fill. The Las Vegas Raiders could legitimately have traded Maxx Crosby to any team in the NFL for 2 first-round picks. Let's just be honest. The Raiders are in a total rebuild. Those names that I listed, Christian Wilkins, Jack Jones, Epps, Spillane, Diablo, right? They're all really, really good players. They're all dogs. But at the end of the day, they're still a 15th ranked defense. At the end of the day, they're still a 4-win team. At the end of the day, they still lost 9 games in a row like I told you they would. So, guys, how big a move do you think this was for the Las Vegas Raiders by signing Maxx Crosby to a 3-year, $106.5 million deal? I think it was stupid. I think it was asinine. I think it was asinine. You could have kicked the can down the road a little bit more. Let's just be honest. Old Man River says this means he will retire as a Raider. Yep. He will be retired with 7 more wins underneath his belt. Congratulations, my man. I mean, I'm not trying to dog the Raiders. Well, I am. But come on. Oh, come on. Casey Morgan's in the chat. He's also a pigskin pundit as well.
Pigskin pun. Get you some.
Casey says, I don't think the Chargers anything for the Raiders. Or I don't think anything changes for the Raiders. Casey, I think you're right. The Raiders... Guys, let's flash back to last offseason. March, April, May, June, July. Every time I would speak ill about the Raiders, people would come at my head. When we broke down their schedule back in June and July, and I had them losing 9 games in a row and 4 wins total, people said I was drunk, I was stupid, I was clown, I was this, and this, that. I was spot on about them. Guys, Casey, you were right. Nothing changes for the Raiders. They just released Gardner Minshew, Hunter Renfrow, the receiver just retired. Was it Hunter Renfro? One of their receivers just retired. They have so many holes on the offense. Yes, I understand trying to lock down the defense. Yes, I understand trying to, be decent. But why? Why waste this kind of... I mean, it's not wasting money. You're spending it too early. This is the Trevor Lawrence effect. You're paying him too early. Jim says, luckily we have plenty of room. Even paying Crosby, spend every pick and all that cap on the offensive line and rub the rest out. Yes, Jim, you are right. The Raiders do have, what, $100 million in cap space, like $80 million and $89 million in cap space. They do have cap space. I get it. But now you're down to about 50, 40. That might get you a quarterback and a backup receiver. Come on, man. Old Member says he went to Eastern Michigan. Yes, and I believe they are a Maxx school, right? They are a Maxx school. James Frank says maybe they'll swag Garrett to take the extension to the Browns offered him. I doubt it, though. Meaning a Myles Garrett? That would be interesting. Casey said, seemed like the Bills were interested in him. Casey, the Buffalo Bills are interested in anybody that wants to come play for them right now. Any edge rusher that's not Von Miller, they want them to come play for them right now. Maxx Crosby, Joey Bosa, Myles Garrett, Chris Jones, whoever. They want somebody besides Von Miller. So everybody, the Bills are interested in everybody right now. They're on Tinder swiping left, boom, or right, boom, 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 the whole time. Boom, 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 boom. Somebody answer us. James says, Casey, wouldn't even be mad if he went there. Could push the Bills to finally make it into a big game. Now, Bills are still the Bills at the end of the day. Still not very good. Jim Powell says the defense is one of the best in the league, but you are on the 40 minutes of the game. You can't show out. Crosby is the linchpin. Jim, you are right to an extent. As they are on the field a lot, their offense was pretty bad last season mixing it between Aiden O'Connell and Garner Minshew back and forth. They had never really had any type of offensive rhythm all season long. And it definitely started to take effects on the defensive side of the ball. I get it. However, all season long, the defense was really never very good. Yes, they had their moments. They had their spurts, but they were never very good all season long. Casey says, my take on Crosby's Raiders need a face, and they chose Crosby to be it. If they lose him, who do they have? Minshew? So Garner Minshew has been released. The only face of the franchise besides Maxx Crosby for the Las Vegas Raiders could be Brock Bowers. You could put Spillane in there or Diablo, maybe Jack Jones. They're all defensive players, but as far as offensive sides of players go, no, the only player that they have is Brock Bowers. That's why they need to draft Shadur Sanders. They need to draft Shadur Sanders. But hey, also Tyler Lockett has been cut. Maybe a little marriage happening in there in Las Vegas. Tyler Lockett with old Pete Carroll. Bring back old times. And Jim says, slow it down, baby. You're just a homer and you're a Raider hater. I'm a Raiders realist, Jim. I am a Raiders realist at the end of the day. Yes, I am a homer. Yes, I love my Kansas City Chiefs. Yes, I hate the Las Vegas Raiders. But at the end of the day, I'm still a realist, right? I'm still a realist. So slow it down, baby. James says, would have been dope to see Crosby in the Lions jersey. Would have been. But then he would have took away from the true hometown hero in Aiden O'Connell. Or not Aiden O'Connell, Aiden Hutchinson. I think the Lions want to make Aiden Hutchinson the face of the franchise, and Maxx Crosby would have definitely took over that, right? Alpha Rob says the Raiders still don't have a QB. They're going nowhere in the AFC. Listen, if the Raiders can nail this draft, there's a lot of free agent or there's a lot of wide receiver chatter out there. DK Metcalf wants out. Tyler Lockett's a free agent. Chris Godwin's a free agent. Devontae Adams could come back, right? You still have DeAndre Hopkins. You got Juju. You got Sky Moore. There's a lot of receivers out there that are free agents right now. Honestly, with the cap space that the Raiders have, if they can get a decent quarterback, not Aaron Rodgers, not Russell Wilson, not Justin Fields, I'm talking like a decent quarterback like Sam Darnold maybe a Kirk Cousins, maybe a Shadur Sanders, maybe a Cam Ward, depending on how it all falls, they do have a legitimate shot of making the playoffs. This is coming from a Chiefs fan. If they can get some receiver help, and then they draft a quarterback and then get some type of bridge quarterback, because I don't think Shadur Sanders is a day one starter. Get Kirk Cousins, get Sam Darnold, get somebody, bridge gap quarterback. Bada bing, bada boom, they are a 10, 11 win team next season. I like Pete Carroll. I don't like Chip Kelly. I don't like the rest of the coaching staff, but Pete Carroll's still a pretty good coach. Let's just be honest. And Alpha Rob says, I do like their tight end, though. Yes, Brock Bowers is a beast. Pretty soon, Brock Bowers will be considered the best tight end in the NFL. Maybe not next year, but year 3, he is probably going to be considered 3-2-1, that type of tight end range, right? Brock Bowers is going to be a dog. Jim Powell is a pigskin pundit.
Pigskin pun. Get you some.
Be like Jim, guys, and click on the link below. Become a member. Jim says, we only need AOC if we have the same line Hurts has. Listen, I'm surprised they didn't cut Aiden O'Connell, too. All right? I'm just saying. And James says, whoa, slow it down, baby. Shadur Sanders is coming to Cleveland. Makes sense. Well, you guys have the 2nd overall pick. You need a quarterback. You need an edge rusher. You need a receiver. Can you afford him, though? That's the question. You only have $12 million in cap space, like $12.5 million after Deshaun Watson's restructure. And it's going to take about $10 million to sign your first round pick, $6 million to sign your second and third round picks. I'm not for sure if they can do that. James says, I think the 49ers are going to be shopping Brandon Ayuk as well. 49ers just signed Brandon Ayuk to a pretty good deal. It was just last season. Yes, he was hurt last season, but he did get a good deal. If the 49ers are shopping Brandon Ayuk, they would not have worked a deal out last season. I don't think Brandon Ayuk is going anywhere. I just want to be obvious about that. I don't think he's going anywhere. But a player that is going to go somewhere is DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf has officially requested a trade from the Seattle Seahawks after Tyler Lockett was released just the other day. Now, if DK Metcalf is traded, he will be looking for a new contract, reportedly $30 million per season. So, guys, when you look at DK Metcalf, he is a pretty good receiver. He was the number 1 receiver for the Seattle Seahawks last season. He has been a little bit injury plagued the last couple of seasons, but he's still a big body receiver. Who should be making call for DK Metcalf right now? Who should be out there making calls for DK Metcalf and see what the Seattle Seahawks want trade-wise for him? Like I said, DK Metcalf wants to leave Seattle. He is seeking a trade. He wants to be out. The Seattle Seahawks asking price for DKF is high. They want a first rounder and a 3rd round pick in return. They want 2 picks for DK Metcalf. As you guys know, last season, receivers were going back for 4th round picks. Amari Cooper, 4th round pick. DeAndre Hopkins, 4th round pick. Right? Hell, Deebo Samuel just got traded for a 5th round pick. So this is a big asking price for a 1st round pick and a 3rd round pick for DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf is entering his final year of his 3-year, $72 million extension, which expires after the 2025 NFL season. Any team requiring Metcalf would also need to offer him a new contract, with Metcalf reportedly asking for $30 million per season. Now, the Seahawks are set to lose their top 2 of their 3 receivers in 2024, Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, as Tyler Lockett was released after his 10-year career in Seattle. So when you look at DK Metcalf, there are 3 potential landing spots that I could see him going to. Number 1 would be the Las Vegas Raiders. Tyler Lockett and him could reunite with former head coach Pete Carroll. It would be a match made in heaven. It would be a quarterback's dream. Aiden O'Connell could be actually a decent quarterback with Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf. That could happen. The Raiders have the draft capital, and they got the salary cap as well to bring in a player like DK Metcalf and asking for that $30 million. Now, are they willing to give up their 7th overall pick for that? To be determined, right? It could be a 2026 draft, first round draft pick, maybe a 2nd round. Maybe we'll see about that. And then the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? The Pittsburgh Steelers were previously interested in Christian Kirk before his injury last season and could pursue him again if he was healthy. Spoiler alert, we just saw Christian Kirk get traded to the Houston Texans from the Jacksonville Jaguars. So the Pittsburgh Steelers are still obviously a team that DK Metcalf could go to. But a team that I could see making a push for DK Metcalf the most is the one and only Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills have a lot of cap space. The Buffalo Bills don't like to pay players. James Cook is still waiting for a payday. He's not going to get it. But the Bills are a strong contender where DK Metcalf could help push the team past the Chiefs and the other AFC teams. So a good potential landing spot for DK Metcalf is simple, guys. It's the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills should be willing to give them the 1st round and the 3rd round pick in return for DK Metcalf. $30 million is not really that much for a receiver like DK Metcalf. A big body, fast receiver with a big arm, strong like Josh Allen. We're scared, baby. We scared. Kansas City Chiefs would be scared. The Baltimore Ravens would be scared. The rest of the teams in the AFC would be scared. Guys, DK Metcalf to the Buffalo Bills makes the most sense. As simple as that. Make it happen. What's his name? Bean. Make it happen. So what do you guys think? Where should DK Metcalf land? Where should he go? The old member says, I'm hearing Devontae Adams is going back to Green Bay. I doubt it. And Drew says, whoa, slow it down, baby. There's only one team that makes sense for DK Metcalf, says Drew. There's only one team in the NFL that makes sense for DK Metcalf, and that is the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, Drew, on the surface, I'd be all about that. On the surface, I'll be, sure, why not? Chiefs salary cap. I don't think the Chiefs have the cap table. I don't think the Kansas City Chiefs have the cap room. The Kansas City Chiefs have $500,000 in cap. $500,000 in cap. Yes, they still can restructure Patrick Mahomes and Chris Jones and Travis Kelce's contract still and potentially make up that money. But DK Metcalf to the Kansas City Chiefs doesn't make sense to me at all. Now, Chris Godwin to the Kansas City Chiefs makes sense. But when you think about this, the Kansas City Chiefs still have Rashid Rice. He's coming back in 2025. He should be 100%. They have Hollywood Brown still. They have Xavier Worthy. As a Chiefs fan, I would love DK. It would be awesome. But logically speaking, it's not going to happen. Not going to happen. And Alpha Rob said the Chargers. And Alpha Rob, I have heard this. I heard that the minute the news broke that DK Metcalf wanted out of Seattle, the LA Chargers were on the phone. Now, I don't know what their salary cap is. I would have to Google it. Actually, we can Google it right now. We are at overthecap.com if you guys are ever interested in looking at the salary cap. The Chargers have $90 million in a cap space right now, which is second in the NFL. They could definitely afford that. Are they willing to give up a 1st round pick and a 3rd round pick in return for DK? Would it get them over the hump? Meh. DK Metcalf is a good talent. The Chargers have a pretty piss-poor receiving core. Ladd McConkey is the only decent player there. But hey, I like that. Chargers would be a good one as well. Old Man River says DK to the Buffalo Bills. Makes sense, doesn't it? Makes sense, because I think Amari Cooper's a free agent, right? Would you rather have Amari Cooper or DK at the end of the day? That's kind of what it comes down to. Who are you going to pay? I'm going to pay the 28-year-old DK Metcalf. Jim Powell says the Chiefs sure should get them a DK. Like a Donkey Kong. James Frank says put DK opposite of Mike Evans. So go to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Forget about Chris Godwin and bring down DK. So you would in theory have two number one receivers on your team. Would Mike Evans be okay being the number two guy? I'm not for sure. Casey says DK will be a cheap because the bench, just because Beach is going to go draft offensive line. As the Kansas City Chiefs will probably draft offensive line in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th rounds, yes. With the 31st overall pick, they're probably going to go defense. But if you trade your 31st pick and your 3rd round pick for DK Metcalf, right? And Drew says the Panthers. Yes, obviously the Panthers do need receiver help. They have one of the worst receiving cores in the NFL. Right? The Panthers have one of the worst receiving cores in the NFL. Yes, I get it. They have Adam Thielen. They have Xavier Leggett and Jalen Cocker. That's about it. He would instantly be a number one. Hands down. Yes. But Panthers got a lot more needs than just that. They have one pick. My man, John.
Pigskin pun. Get you some.
John's also a pigskin pun. What's up, John? He says, hey, man, our nation, sorry I showed up late, but DK to the Kansas City Chiefs. Everybody's linking the DK to the Kansas City Chiefs. This is like what the third person that has said this. Guys, logistically, am I saying that right? Logically, the logistics standards, the money-wise, the Kansas City Chiefs can't afford him. They have $500,000 to play with. DK Metcalf is not going to sign a $500,000 deal to come play for the Kansas City Chiefs. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. John says, I think Tampa Bay gets Devontae Adams, and he said, I like him in Tampa Bay as well, meaning DK Metcalf. Not wrong. But what do you guys think? Where do you guys think DK Metcalf is going to end up? He'll probably end up in Seattle and sign a $32 million deal. That's what it comes down to. He's not going anywhere. Speaking of not going anywhere, Jerry Jones is not going anywhere for a long, long time because he is the owner of the Dallas Cowboys and their general manager. He has come out on his weekly radio show and saying that they're not looking at free agency to fill the voids on this team. They are looking to pay the players within them. They're not looking to fill voids via free agency. Draft in the players that they have on their team. What? When I first heard this, guys, like, what is Jerry talking about? First, Stephen Jones is saying we're going to be selectively aggressive in this free agency period, and now Jerry Jones says they're not going to go out any free agency period at all. They're not bringing anybody in. Guys, are the Cowboys making a mistake by not bringing any free agents? When you think about this, guys, I said this on Monday's show. I think the Cowboys are 3 players away from being a Super Bowl caliber team. I said that I think that the Dallas Cowboys can bring in 2 receivers and a running back, and they're instantly a Super Bowl caliber team. But Jerry Jones says we're not going to do that. We are not going to do that because we have the team in place. We're going to draft well. We have the team in place. We like to build within. And when you think about this, guys, in the last 15 years, the Dallas Cowboys have not signed a free agent that has made the Pro Bowl. The last free agent that the Dallas Cowboys have signed that made the Pro Bowl was a punter 15 years ago. And oh, by the way, they haven't made an NFC Championship game since 1995. I was like 7, 8. Like, either way, I was a young lad. I was wet behind the ears, so I didn't know what football was. Dak and CeeDee Lamb have reworked their contracts to free up $50 million in cap space. Now, as you guys remember, on Monday, Stephen Jones said, hey, they're going to be selectively aggressive this offseason in the free agency market. I took that as, hey, we're going to narrow 3 or 4 guys down, and we're going to offer them a lot of money to bring them in. Devontae Adams, D-Hop, some running back, Najee Harris is a free agent. That's what I expected them to do. But now Jerry Jones is like, whoa, no. We like our team the way it is. We're going to draft, and we're going to pay our players. Now, I understand that you guys need to pay Micah Parsons, meaning the Dallas Cowboys. I understand that Micah Parsons is a very, very good defensive end. He's this. Stop. Micah Parsons is overhyped and overrated. You guys can say what you want about Micah Parsons. I think Micah Parsons sucks. He is good at pinning his ears back and rushing the quarterback, but if you ask him to do any type of disciplined plays and stop the run, he sucks. I would have traded Micah Parsons this offseason. Get him out of here. Get a first-round pick, get a second-round pick, get something. Guys, Jerry Jones is a smart businessman. He's a smart businessman. He's a great seller. He's a great promoter of his team. But as a general manager, he sucks. When you do not go after players in free agency to fill voids on your team, something with your mindset is wrong. It's simple. Something is wrong in your head at the end of the day. Stop being a man and just admit that you are wrong. Admit that you are wrong and your team has voids and it needs to be filled. You missed out on Derrick Henry because you're a stubborn asshole at the end of the day. Let's just be honest. You brought back Zeke, which had nothing left in the tank. There's a reason why he was a free agent. Rico Dud, the running back, not very good, but you were damn well spent that, hey, he's our man, our myth, the legend. Your own wide receiver, CeeDee Lamb, arguably a top 3 receiver in the NFL, said, hey, I need help. I need help. That's why he's restructured his deal. Dak Prescott understands, hey, we need help. That's why he restructured his deal. And you're not going to go out and get players for free agency? Why? Why are you not going to do that, Jerry? I am a passive Dallas Cowboys fan. I was a Dallas Cowboys fan. The Dallas Cowboys are still dead to me to this day. We broke up week 7 last year of the NFL season. I threw the ball across the room. Actually, no, the poster's still up there. But I broke up with it. I said, we're done. Now, I was a crazy ass. I kept looking back at them saying, hey, what's up, Cowboys? I still hate you. Like, hey, Cowboys, just looking at your Instagram. Okay. Oh, you're looking pretty sexy, but yeah. Guys, the Dallas Cowboys need to hit free agency. It's simple as that. Jerry Jones needs to fire himself from general manager. They need to hire a competent general manager. Very, very seldom is a dual general manager, owner, coach, owner, GM, coach, GM successful in the NFL. The reason why they're not successful is because there's no checks and balances at the end of the day. Jerry's a great owner. Not so great at general managing. When Stephen Jones started to take over the draft, the Cowboys started to draft pretty well. Had a nice offensive line, started to build some depth in some pieces, yada, yada, yada. Jerry Jones wasn't quite getting his limelight anymore. He's like, let me draft again. Last 2 seasons, they've been shit in the draft. Let's just be honest. Stephen Jones is taking back over the draft now. Guys, the Cowboys need to go out there and get Najee Harris. They need to go out there and get a player like D-Hop or Devontae Adams. Maybe trade for DK Metcalf. I don't know. This not being aggressive in free agency is stupid. You missed out on Derrick Henry. You missed out on Saquon Barkley last season. Arguably the two top running backs in the NFL right now. All just because you're hard-headed, because you're afraid that you admit you're wrong. Jerry, admit that you are wrong. Admit that your team needs some help. Admit that you don't have all the pieces in place. You need to just admit it. You are 3 players away from being a Super Bowl contending team. 3. That's it. You can draft defensive players. The defensive draft is not that bad. Offensive draft-wise, it sucks. Come on, man. Guys, are the Cowboys making a mistake by not being aggressive this free agency? Casey says, Cowboys going to continue to wook until Jerry removed from the GM. I think he means suck.
Pigskin pun. Get you some.
Casey is a pigskin pun, and Casey, thank you for all of your support, but you are spot on. Jerry Jones needs to fire himself. He needs to remove himself from the general manager role and hire somebody. I don't care if it's appointing his son. I don't care if it's appointing his daughter or his wife or whatever. He needs to remove himself for general manager, and they will be so much better if Jerry Jones can just focus on marketing the Cowboys, talking up and keeping the Cowboys name in our mouths as an owner. Oh. Old Man River says Jerry's brains are just jello. Jerry Jones is old. What, he's pushing 82, right? I don't know how old he is. Let's look it up. Yeah, he's 82. Let's just face it, he's an old man. I mean, hell, me being 36, it is tough for me to scout film and help draw up scouting reports for the college, be a high school coach, work full time, do man hour. It is tough, and I'm still young, and my brain sometimes gets scattered. Think about being 82. This man was born in 1942. 1942. Jim, you're an old man. You're 60 plus. You were still dusting your daddy's balls. Drew's like, I graduated in 1995. Drew, you may have graduated in 1995, but you're still not 82 years old. You were still little pre-coming in like your daddy's balls. Like, Jesus. James Frank says they'd be dumb not to get Najee. I think they need to do the test they did on Joe Biden to Jerry. Yes. I mean, as I'm trying to think of ways to put this politely, right? I'm trying to think of ways to put this politely. As us average people, right? My chair's falling down. Let me pull it up. As us average people in this world in general, right? We are basically expected to retire at the age of 62. From 62 to 65, we are expected to retire. We are expected to leave the workforce. Now, will we be able to do it? Probably not, because we can't afford to do so. Because back when this was the norm, the average life expectancy was like 70 years old. So basically, we were supposed to retire at 62, live for about 5 or 6 more years, and then die, right? When you look at these career politicians, the NFL owners, whatever, these guys are 70 and 80 years old. 70 and 80 years old, making decisions for 20 years old, 30 years old, 40 years old, right? We are a third of their age, and we are expecting them to make the best decisions for us. A lot has changed from 1942 to 2025. A lot has changed. Color TV, cell phones, the internet, Pluto no longer a planet. Right? A lot has changed. Now, I'm not saying Jerry Jones is a bad owner. I think he's a great owner. He's a great salesman. He's a great business owner. He is a beautiful rags to riches story. But much like Joe Biden, much like a lot of those career politicians, at the end of the day, us normal people are expected to retire, stop working at the age of 65. Let's just be generous. Let's say 70. We are expected to stop working at that time. We're too old to work. But yeah, these people are running multi-billion-dollar businesses, running the government, running the world. It's like, what? Like, come on. Yes, I get it. James Frank says, has anyone ever seen Biden and Jerry Jones in the same room at the same time? I think they're the same person. Whoa, 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 slow it down, baby. I mean, I guess they both wear blue. Alpha Rob says, I enjoyed Jerry sitting in the skybox with his arms folded up looking disappointed. Listen, Alpha Rob, as much as I love billionaires getting disappointed and butthurt, yada, 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 I don't think Jerry Jones knows what's going on. I think he's sleeping when he's sitting just like this. I think he's sleeping and they got like some, you know how like how girls put like tape on their like on their tops to like hold their shirt up. I think they got tape under his eyelids, so he's sleeping, but his eyes are like open. And like every now and then, like his wife or his care holder comes and puts some little bit of eye drops in there, so his eyes don't get dry. And Drew says Pluto. Yeah, Drew, you didn't know Pluto is not a planet anymore? It just flew off into some solar system. Apparently, it's like a moon now. No, so my first grader, they're calling it a dwarf planet. It's not big enough to be a real planet. So basically, the dwarfs in our universe are the midget people, the short people. They're not real people. So my cousin Courtney, that's 4'7", she's considered a short person, a midget. She's not a real person. I'm just kidding. I love you, Courtney. I love you, girl. But let's talk about the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns and Deshaun Watson restructured his deal to clear up $35.8 million in cap space. As you guys know, the Cleveland Browns are in cap hell. With clearing up that $35.8 million in cap space gives them about $12 million in cap space now, right? They're just 1 year removed from the playoffs. They're just 1 year removed from the playoffs. Granted, they got beat down by the Houston Texans in that wild card game 2023, but they're still a pretty good team. With the restructuring of Deshaun Watson's contract, can the Cleveland Browns make the playoffs in 2025? Guys, the Cleveland Browns are in cap hell. Let me repeat that for the people in the back. They are in cap hell. They still have $23 million in dead cap hit from Amari Cooper. They have a $14.2 million dead cap hit in Jadarius Smith. And they got a $12 million dead cap hit with Jedarick Willis as well. They have $12.8 million in cap space. They need a receiver. They need an edge rusher. They need a defensive tackle. And they need a quarterback. Hell, they might even need a running back if Nick Chubb can't stay on the field. Now, the Browns do have 9 draft picks this season, second most in this year's draft, and with the second overall pick. It will take them a lot of work to get underneath the salary cap. It is that simple. They need to rework some contracts. They need to do this and whatever, right? Whatever, right? But in 2024, they were the 19th ranked defense in 2024. With Myles Garrett wanting out, this could get a hell of a lot worse. If they don't trade Myles Garrett, he is going to get half-ass effort at best. Let's just be honest. Whether he can say all the things that he wants, he's going to be half-ass effort out, like out there. Their offense was even worse in 2024, 28th ranked offense in the NFL. Now they even have more questions with quarterback questions with Deshaun Watson going to miss 2025 season as well. With wide receiver questions also. Without Amari Cooper, Jerry Jeudy being the only guy that they got. So guys, can the Cleveland Browns return to the playoffs in 2025? Quick answer is no. Sorry, James. Sorry, Charles Moats. Sorry, the rest of you Cleveland Browns fans, but the Browns are just, they are in a rebuild mode and they don't realize that they're in a rebuild mode. They have players on the books that they need to get rid of now. They need to get rid of Myles Garrett. See you later. I don't care. I don't care if somebody offers you just a second round pick. You need to take that pick. You need to get that pick and get underneath the salary cap. You need to trade Nick Chubb. Get a second or third round pick for Nick Chubb. Simple fact of the matter is They need a total scalping of the team. Like I said last night, I had thick, luscious grass in my yard last summer. Had a couple little brown spots, and they kept growing. They kept growing. They kept growing. I'm like, what is going on? I had the St. Augustine grass, whatever, yada yada yada. What is going on? Turns out I had a fungus in my yard. I had to scout my yard. It's now March, and I already got thick green ass grass right now. Of course, the rest of the summer my grass looked like shit, but now it looks sexy. It looks pretty good. That's what the Browns need to do. They need to scalp it. Boom. I understand Nick Chubb is a free agent. I get it. I didn't realize that. Let him walk. Trade Myles Garrett. Trade Jerry Jeudy. Find somebody to take on Deshaun Watson. To trade anybody over the age of 32 right now. Get them out of town. Repeat your 3-win season again. 2 wins, whatever you want. Next 2 years might be tough. But you know what? Year 3, year 4, year 5, playoffs, baby. AFC North Championships, baby. Super Bowl bound, baby. That's exactly what they need to do. They need to do that, and they need to do it now. So will they return to the playoffs in 2025? No. Not a snowball chance as hell, I believe Drew said. Hell no. The only way they are going to make the playoffs next year is if the Ravens completely fall off, the Steelers completely fall off, and the Bengals completely fall off. I'm talking about 3 wins each. We could have a 5-win team in the playoffs. That's the only chance they will have. James Frank says they got a lot to do. They need to trade Greg Newsome. That will free up $14 million. They need to restructure the Denzel Ward's contract and restructure Jack Conklin. They should have already done that. League year starts in 5 days, James. They should have already done that. If they haven't done that already, they're stupid. Come on, man. James says that's a big no. We will be a 6 or 7 winning team. And James, I think that's generous. I think that is generous because they got a tough schedule. I mean, you still play the Bengals twice. Tough. Still play the Steelers twice. Tough. Still play the Ravens twice. And then on top of that, you play the Dolphins, the Packers, the Steelers, the Vikings, the 49ers, and the Titans. Then you got to play the Bears, the Jets. That's an easy win. Lions, Patriots, Raiders, and Steelers. They got a tough schedule. 6 or 7 wins is like tough. Yes, you'll get one from the Steelers. Yes, you'll get one from the Bengals. Might get one from the Ravens and the Titans. The Jets, there's your 5 wins. That's tough. James says we can't let Myles go until after June because I think if we let him go before it's a huge hit. So it's like a $16 million it's $16 or $17 million dead cat hit savings after it's all said and done after the June 1st deadline, which I don't understand the whole June 1st thing, whatever, yada, yada, yada. But I was told, let me rephrase that. I overheard general managers and coaches talking at the combine when I was up there this past weekend. And they said, if the Browns were to trade Myles Garrett, it would be after the draft. So therefore, probably after the June 1st deadline. Basically, because they want draft picks for 2026, not 2025. Because they don't value anybody in this year's draft. Granted, they already have 9 draft picks as is, but they want draft picks for 2026. So that's the big reason why I think if they do trade Myles Garrett, it will be after the June 1st deadline, plus the $16 million cap savings. I'm not for sure how the whole thing works out. I'll have to research that. So what do you guys think? Will they make the playoffs? No. No. All right, guys. So that is going to be it for today's show. Another great show. Thank you guys for tuning in. This has been Michael Buckeiser, Man Hour NFL Talk live. Raw, uncut NFL Talk, guys. We're live every Monday through Friday at 9 p.m. East Coast time until August. Once August hits, we will be cutting the Friday night show because I'll be busy coaching on Friday night, and we're going to replace that with the Sunday morning preview show. We got a lot of things in the works. I got about 5 or 6 people trying to collaborate, right? We're going to do like a each division kind of specialist type thing. We're working on a nice big preview show here, while also with the Believe Network. So until next time, guys, see you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place. Michael Bachkeister live, raw, uncut NFL talk. Until then, we are out, baby.
Hey, now it's time to take off. Gotta keep it live and raw. Better stay tuned in. Man, our NFL talk. I know that you ready for more. They on the field, ready for war. Who's in the lead? I'm checking the score. We about to do it like never before. NFL live, uncut, raw. This is Man Hour NFL talk. Let's go.